He's the one who called me out. Okay, you wanted to fight. Dude, this is gonna be a fight.
I'm not here to just beat up some guy off the street. I want to fight the best guys. I'm in the best organization. Roger Huerta's one of the best lightweights. I want to fight him.
I'm here to fight, and I'm here to win, and to try to become the UFC heavyweight champion.
I anticipate the referee saying go and him coming out of his corner like a bat out of hell, and then me coming across like somebody lit the ring on fire, and then we're gonna meet in the middle.
I don't get all hyped into, well, you know, his Muay Thai or his Jiu-Jitsu is outstanding, or, you know, we're gonna try to cancel those things out.
I hope he tries to stand with me. That'd be great. I'd love it. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'm a more dangerous fighter than GSP because I got nothing to lose. He's got, you know, his popularity, his fame, his respect, the belt. He's got everything to lose.
For me, it's my first title defense. Last time I failed, but I'm the kind of guy who never make the same mistake twice, and I will be successful. I will dominate.
He's got a big, ugly, corn-fed guy from Indiana coming after his belt that he's literally gonna have to kill to stop.
John Fitch is a problem, but I will be able to solve the problem.
It is spectacular to be in the great state of Minnesota. We are sold out here at Target Center, Minneapolis, Minnesota, for UFC 87 Seek and Destroy, presented by Harley-Davidson. They have waited, well, for some, all their lives, for the octagon to come to the land of 10,000 lakes, and here we are. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He may be the most athletically gifted fighter ever to compete inside the octagon. He is George Rush St. Pierre. He was riding high after he defeated Matt Hughes and won the welterweight title. And then in his first defense, Matt Serra shocked the world and took what George St. Pierre thought was everything away from him. And as you heard a moment ago, he promises that that will not happen again tonight. He says it's the best thing that ever happened to him. He is so mentally strong now. Joe Rogan, my partner as always, George St. Pierre said the best thing that has happened to him was losing to Matt Serra.
Well, you know, with a lot of great fighters, they believe that you have to lose, you have to experience that loss in order to understand what victory really means, how important it really means. George St. Pierre has won the title twice. He has not defended it, and that will be a big issue this evening. He overwhelmed Matt Serra in the rematch, overwhelmed Matt Hughes. John Fitch is, in my opinion, the perfect type of opponent to battle with George St. Pierre. He is a phenomenal wrestler. He's a former captain of Purdue wrestling team. He's incredibly mentally tough.
And we will see who you, the fan, believes will win the title fight tonight between George St. Pierre and John Fitch. You can let your voice be heard by voting online at UFC.com or by texting on your cell phone A for GSP, B for Fitch to 88222. We'll keep you updated throughout tonight's pay-per-view. Our text voting brought to you by Tap Out. Well, when you break down the dominance for both these men, George St. Pierre and John Fitch, Joe, you'll find some astounding numbers inside the numbers of the welterweight champion. 80% of the time he's been successful on his takedown attempts. Great takedown defense, and in his career, he has fought 130 minutes and spent less than 5 minutes on his back.
It's really incredible statistics, but the most incredible thing about it is we're talking about a guy who has not competed in high school or college as a wrestler. He learned all of his wrestling when he got into mixed martial arts. He's just that gifted an athlete and that focused an athlete.
And how phenomenal is an 80% takedown rate for GSP? The UFC average, 45%. He has never lost inside the octagon. He is the challenger, the #1 contender, John Fitch. Inside his numbers, you will see that as a UFC fighter, his guard has never been passed. You would expect him to have great takedown defense, and when he does take his opponent down, he takes advantage of the opportunity to ground and pound.
He's an excellent wrestler, and one of the most important things about John Fitch is his mental toughness. He is incredibly mentally tough. We're talking about a guy who was caught in a deep, deep choke by Juan Carnero, where 99.9% of all the competitors would have tapped. He gutted it out. He got through it. He will push George St. Pierre to his limits.
If George St. Pierre takes him down, can he pass the guard? If there is a ground and pound opportunity for Fitch, will he take advantage? Only time will tell. Receiving a hero's welcome tonight, not surprisingly, the Minnesota Golden Gopher, who won a wrestling national championship. Brock Lesnar, who takes on the Texas Crazy Horse.
And not an easy task. Brock Lesnar has been thrown to the wolves twice in the UFC. First bout, he fights former UFC heavyweight champion Frank Mir. Now he fights the Texas Crazy Horse. He's carrying a rejuvenated Texas Crazy Horse with a new strength and conditioning program. He looks fantastic. He's focused. With Brock Lesnar, we got a gigantic super athlete. We got a man who is just a gigantic heavyweight NCAA All-American wrestler who has now completely dedicated himself, done with the fake wrestling, wants to be the UFC heavyweight champion. And man, that's a tough guy to deal with, man.
Brock Lesnar, not the only man who will have the Minnesota fans in his corner tonight as we get set for one of the most highly anticipated lightweight matchups ever.
From the original Ultimate Fighter reality show, Kenny Ken Flo Florian. Phenomenal jiu-jitsu, excellent Muay Thai, and he has a tremendous amount of experience taking on Roger El Matador Huerta, a dangerous opponent with tremendous heart.
Joe, our rules of the Octagon brought to you by BSN, the world leader in physique, performance, and energy supplements. 3 judges will score the bout duration 3 5-minute rounds. Our championship fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Once again, a 10-point must scoring system is in effect, with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. Target Center sold out. The UFC available tonight in high definition. We begin our evening in the middleweight division. The athlete is back. Canadian Jason McDonald faces a massive challenge in highly decorated Brazilian jiu-jitsu star, Demian Maia. Submission specialist Demian Maia and Jason McDonald have combined to produce some of the UFC's most memorable tap-out wins. But who will be the first to break?
I have potential to put on fight of the night. I've had 2 submission of the nights and I've had a knockout of the night. Tonight will be no different.
Ground game is my area. It's easier for me to submit them, but I'm training a lot of stand-up also, and I can surprise.
One of the UFC's most highly decorated grapplers, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Demian Maia, made a seamless transition from the mat to the octagon, and his unbeaten mixed martial arts record includes submission victories over Ryan Jensen and Ed Herman. And what may be most disconcerting to his opponents is that this Brazilian continues to develop, and he seems to be getting better with each fight.
This fight is probably the most important in my career because it's my 3rd fight in UFC, and from this point now, we're gonna see things is gonna start happening really serious here in UFC.
The pride of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Jason McDonald first entered the UFC in 2006 with little fanfare. But he quickly made a name for himself by submitting highly touted Chris Lieben and Ed Herman in successive bouts. He has since become a mainstay at 185, most recently defeating Joe Dirksen at UFC 83 in April. And a win over Maia is a must if he wants to remain in the UFC middleweight title picture.
I love being the underdog. I love proving people wrong, you know. My best wins in the UFC have been when I was the underdog. And I'm going to go in there and shove it in their face and say, hey, you know, I said it once before, I'm nobody's stepping stone, and I'm not going to be Damian Maia's stepping stone.
Damian Maia, born and raised in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He may have the smoothest mixed martial arts Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills, and Joe will explain what I mean in a moment, of anyone. He is definitely one of the most decorated Brazilian jiu-jitsu competitors to ever enter the octagon. 3-time World Cup champion, 2-time world champion, 7-time state champion, Abu Dhabi winner. He is absolutely amazing on the ground.
Yeah, his jiu-jitsu is top of the food chain, as good as it gets. And he is if you get a guy who's so good at one aspect of mixed martial arts, it becomes much easier for them to transition to the other aspects. If a fight goes to the ground, Damian Maia has a tremendous advantage over any competitor. You see, he's been training there with Vanderlei Silva, all-time great light heavyweight competitor himself, and Vanderlei has said that Damian Maia's stand-up has been getting better and better, but his ground game, make no mistake about it, is the best aspect of his fighting, and it is phenomenal. The transitions, the control, the positions, the submissions, just outstanding. His last fight over Ed Short Fuse Herman with the end with that mounted triangle was just smooth as silk. It's a pleasure to watch his fighting, his jiu-jitsu.
Damian Maia unbeaten in his mixed martial arts career. Set to face off against the athlete who ironically has been victorious 16 times in his career by submission. He has 21 wins overall in his mixed martial arts career. A tremendous athlete, volleyball player in high school, led his team to the provincial championships in Nova Scotia, now fighting out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. He's already earned himself 2 submissions of the night against Lieben and Herman, a knockout of the night in his last fight against Joe Dirksen, and tonight he wants to earn what would be the first loss of Damian Maia's career.
Well, Jason McDonald is a very tough guy. He's very well-rounded, and he has some excellent submissions himself, but the level of jiu-jitsu that we're dealing with, yes. Damian Maia is several notches above Jason McDonald in the ground game. It doesn't mean Jason McDonald can't win. When you add in punches, you add in strikes and elbows, I believe that Jason McDonald is the better striker, and I think that if he can keep this fight on the feet and keep away from Damian Maia's takedowns, he can win a decision. It's very possible.
And he should have a reach advantage. McDonald, a very tall, 6'3", 185-pound fighter.
And another important point, Mike, is the fact that he is so good at submissions himself will allow him to see submissions coming, yes, and defend them better than a lot of other competitors would.
And Joe, we've talked about it before. Some of our fighters, and Jason McDonald's a good submission guy, but you work striking to not get knocked out. You work submissions to not get submitted. You work wrestling to not get taken down.
Absolutely.
Our tale of the tape for our first fight of the night is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson. The Canadian, 33 years old, 3 years the elder of the Brazilian, and yes, indeed, he will have a huge reach advantage of 8 inches. With our official introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota for UFC 87, presented by Harley Davidson. And now, it's time to begin our first bout of the evening. 3 rounds of fighting in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a perfect professional record of 8 wins with no losses. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Damian Maia. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 21 wins with 9 losses. Standing 6 feet 3, he weighed in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Jason the Athlete McDonald. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Eve Loving.
Eve Levine, our referee. Minneapolis, Minnesota. The beautiful Edith Ariani, the octagon here tonight. An historic evening inside Target Center. And we are underway. Southpaw stance for Damian Maia. Black trunks, white trunks for the athlete Jason McDonald with that 8-inch reach advantage.
Jason McDonald has got to keep this fight on the feet. Oh, look at this. He goes for the clinch. That's surprising.
And happy to pull guard is Damian Maia.
Damian Maia has a fantastic guard. Very dangerous off his back.
Jason McDonald won his first 8 career fights, all by submission. None of those fights going past the second round. But Joe, like you said, Damian Maia is not at a higher level than just Jason McDonald. He's at a higher level than most of the rest of the MMA world.
Yeah, he's at a higher level than most black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now you see how Damian Maia has got a hold of that overhook here. One of the big issues right now is that these guys aren't sweaty yet, so there's going to be a lot more friction. It's going to be a lot easier for Maia to grab a hold of things.
Now we saw Joe Dirksen nearly rip the arm at about the shoulder
triangle
of Jason McDonald in their matchup, but McDonald able to survive.
You see how he's got control of that hand? That's it.
Yeah.
It's the leg is over the head right now. Jason McDonald right now is in deep, deep trouble. Maia has the overhook on the other side that's keeping Jason McDonald from defending with his right arm, and he's going to secure it. This is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness. This is what you talk about when you talk about great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
McDonald's in
huge trouble. Trying not to tap.
He's hanging on.
Not quite out yet, though, Joe.
Damian Maia, see him squeezing and pulling that head, but McDonald is hanging tough.
Well, like I said, he nearly had his shoulder ripped off by Joe Dirksen and hung in. But this one, if you go to sleep, is going to be over.
But you know what? To his credit, he has gotten it out.
And Maia utilizing a lot of energy to try to finish it here.
Damian Maia's, he's not
Jason McDonald.
Jason McDonald, get his back!
Wow, great job done by McDonald.
Jason McDonald is attacking fearlessly here.
He's way high. He's got to be careful here.
He's high, but he's got deep hooks.
Unbelievable.
He's got a rear naked choke, Mike.
If he could choke out Damian Maia, that would be a great story. Maia's free for now.
Well, he's letting Maia know. He's sending a message. Yep. I'm not here to just defend. I'm here to attack.
Half guard, top position, earned by the native of Nova Scotia.
Damian Maia works his way back to full guard. Now, Jason McDonald's got to have some confidence now and having gotten out of that triangle.
Same time, I don't think he wants to get in another one. McDonald, this is his 7th time fighting in the UFC. Maia, this is his 3rd. Vanderlei Silva, you mentioned earlier, talked about Maia's improving stand-up. But even Vanderlei Silva, one of the greatest fighters of all time, when he talks about Maia's ground, Joey just kind of shakes his head like, yeah, I mean, on another planet.
Yeah, I mean, he submits heavyweights regularly, really good heavyweights in training. And he competes at 185 pounds. McDonald doing a good job, staying on top.
Trying to pass.
He's moving the half guard here. He should posture up and get out of there. There you go. Get out of there. He's landing some shots.
Head, body. Maia again looks to grab the legs. McDonald
going for a guillotine. And McDonald has an excellent guillotine, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get his back taken here. You see the way Maia is moving towards his back? If he can pop his head out, he is on Jason McDonald's back. And he's using his legs to try to hold McDonald in position. That's a deep guillotine right there. That's deep.
Jason McDonald.
If McDonald can get that other leg out, see his left leg is trapped underneath Maia. If he can get that left leg out and move to full guard, Maia's bleeding. There's blood all over the armpit of Jason McDonald. It's coming from Maia.
And that may have very well been the reason he couldn't lock it in, but that was a serious pass a moment ago by Damian Maia. Gets out of trouble and right to a dominant position.
Now he's on Jason McDonald's back.
What a chess match
here.
45 seconds remains in round one.
He's pulling his nose and his eye. He's got his hand in his eye.
Referee Yves Levine steps in quickly. Can McDonald hold on again?
Keep grabbing a hold of that
And he's got the body triangle too, Joe. Maia looking to choke out McDonald.
The body triangle is keeping him from turning into that choke, but as long as he can keep defending like that, and keep that arm from getting behind the head. See, the thing about those gloves, Mike, is it makes it very difficult to do a proper real naked choke where the back of the hand is against the back of the head. That's the securing arm, the back hand. Not the choking arm, but the securing arm. Now he's got it.
But there's only 5 seconds left in the round.
No, he doesn't.
McDonald is going to survive again.
McDonald's turning into him again.
Whoa! Look at a start here tonight at Target Center. How good was that?
Phenomenal first round.
All submissions and submission attempts and submission avoidances, everybody on their feet here tonight.
Are you the translator? Who's the translator? Tell them next time he's going to put his finger in his face like that. I'm going to tell him.
Não pode colocar o dedo no rosto do cara, tá, Demian? Não pode colocar o dedo. Viu? Tranquilidade, Demian. Ó, vamos acreditar naquele triângulo seu, viu? Vamos acreditar no triângulo. Tranquilidade.
I have my arm, I couldn't get out of it. I know.
Here is where Demian Maia got cut. The ground and pound of Jason, the athlete McDonald, right there. Bang. And it's usually, Mike, the grazing punches. Those are the ones that usually wind up inflicting cuts.
Get out of the ring now. Rio, come on.
Demian Maia.
Go.
5 of his 8 wins by submission. Both of his victories in the UFC by submission, a rear naked choke and a triangle. Jason McDonald set for round 2.
Fight.
Here we go.
Now, Jason McDonald has already proven that he can stand up, or that rather he can survive on the ground. Maia caught him with the left.
Now, you had said at the beginning of the fight you'd like to see Jason McDonald, put this in and make this a stand-up war. But again, first time he clinched, now he's in a position where this fight may go to the ground again.
Well, I think he has an advantage in the stand-up, but he's shown that he's fearless in the ground game. I mean, even though he got caught in that deep, deep triangle, that did not discourage him, and he even attempted submissions of his own and gotten some excellent positions.
And we have seen fighters in the past, Joe, who want to quietly prove something to themselves and the world, and that is, instead of just defeating a man, defeating him at what he does best.
Absolutely, and you know what? It is what Jason McDonald does excellent as well. I mean, he has phenomenal submissions, submitted Ed Herman, submitted Chris Lieben, and Demian Maia takes him down, but this time in the top position.
Yeah, and Maia did a good job. He kept the clinch on McDonald. None of those knees really landed too much, but it helped him to get the takedown.
He's got to be careful here because now Maia is on top of him, which is much more dominant. Before he almost got submitted, but he was on top of Maia. Now Maia can control him, and he moves to full mount.
Yeah, he passes so nicely. And McDonald's got a good guard, but Maia in the full mount.
But Jason McDonald has shown that he can stay calm as long as he doesn't turn and give his back up again. He's doing that, but he's holding on to Maia's right leg. See how he's doing that with his left leg? And what he's trying to do is trying to hip escape. He's trying to get some separation where he can get a knee up and possibly get out of this position. And Maia is trying to just hold on to his back. Maia's landing some punches here.
Maia doing a good job trying to tee off on Jason McDonald. McDonald is intelligently defending himself. That's a big elbow. That elbow caught him a moment ago.
Yeah, he's landing some shots, Mike, but Maia does not have the best ground and pound in the world.
Nope.
These are decent. He's got excellent control.
He's opened him up, Joe. Looks like he opened him up around the nose area. Maybe on the bridge of the nose. UFC 87, Seek and Destroy, presented by Harley-Davidson.
Now, one good thing, Mike, about when you're on the bottom and the guy's punching and grounding and pounding is when he's putting that effort into those strikes, oftentimes he leaves little openings that you could use and utilize to get out of this position. But Demian Maia's base is so solid.
Now, I mentioned before that, and we've talked about it with Demian Maia, that he has the smoothest MMA Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What exactly does that mean?
Well, what it means is a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, first of all, they're very good with the gi. So you have to be very good without the gi. The control that you have with just underhooks and overhooks is a very different kind of control. And Maia has that. He's an Abu Dhabi champion, which is no gi. So he is excellent at that as well. And then on top of that, he's excellent at using Jiu-Jitsu with punches and strikes to make openings. And that's the difference between just regular Jiu-Jitsu and MMA Jiu-Jitsu.
And we're seeing some of that displayed right here in round 2.
Yeah, many openings can be achieved with strikes.
McDonald trying to do something from the bottom, but he is being overwhelmed here.
But these are arm punches here.
Yeah, they are. He's still defending himself.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job. As long as and Evil Being is an excellent referee, he can see that Maia's landing, but that Jason McDonald is intelligently defending himself, and he's constantly in motion. See how they're basically walking all over the ring, and that is because Jason McDonald is trying to get his hips out from under Maia, and Maia is following him the whole way. He's not allowing him to hip escape. It's very exhausting for McDonald, though, because he's carrying Maia's weight, and he's constantly moving and ducking things and constantly reacting to Maia's aggression.
And Maia's doing a good job of staying postured up, as we say, Joe. Now McDonald will control the body. But he's bloodied him up on the bridge of his nose, his Damian Maia.
And McDonald there was trying to reverse him, put a big effort into it, but he used it to get half guard. Jason McDonald is really impressing me with his technique and his heart and determination and his willingness to fight Maia's game.
Well, he's lost 2 times in the UFC. One to former longtime middleweight champion Rich Franklin. The other to the man who still hasn't been beaten, Yushin Okami. So, I mean, you're looking at 2 guys that there's no shame in that. Everybody else he's done a tremendous job against, including the fight so far here tonight, even though the second round has been all Maia.
Maia moved back to the guard. McDonald pops out, but he's got an arm.
30 seconds remains in the round.
And what Maia's trying to do is roll him over. Jason McDonald's got to be very careful of his right arm here. The only good thing here is that it's really slippery. But what Maia's doing, he's out. Nice.
Jason McDonald is a survivor tonight. Survives the submission attempts in round 1. Survives some pretty good ground and pound in round 2.
And he moves to half guard.
Very quickly.
And he's trying to pass now. Nice.
The chess match will continue in round 3.
And Mike, listen to everyone cheering in this audience. This is not a boring fight at all, and most of it is submissions. There's the knees by Damian Maia. Threw a bunch of knees, a couple of them landed, and here's a nice trip. Gets to his back, but to Jason McDonald's credit, he was not submitted. He was able to weather the storm and get out of a dominant position and get on top of himself. Excellent fight.
Engage in his game plan. Do not take him to the ground. When you got half guard like that, you got hip bump the other way. You start working the other leg. Don't roll that way, because then he just mounts like that.
Jay, do not take him to the fucking ground. Knock this guy out standing up. You understand? We gotta knock him out.
Make him pull guard so he can drop some elbows. You gotta do it, buddy. You gotta open him up. You gotta knock him. Put him on clear street.
Okay, Skip.
Okay, let's go.
Jay, look at me right now.
You hear his corner saying, do not take this fight to the ground.
You gotta knock him out.
Knock this guy out.
AD, Adrian Peterson, all day former Oklahoma Sooner. Now a stud for the Minnesota Vikings. Third and final round.
Jason McDonald looking to stay on his feet here, looking to avoid the takedown, and he's got it. Maia's got it. But Jason McDonald going for that guillotine. He's got that left arm in deep. He's out of that position, though. Now he's in side control. And Jason McDonald going for the takedown, and he winds up on top.
Pulls his head out, though. Man, if this goes to the judges' scorecards, this is going to be a very close fight. Round 2, obviously, one would think would go to Maia, and it should. Round 1.
McDonald doing a good job of controlling that arm of Damian Maia on the right-hand side and moving towards that direction because he can't defend.
You know, this might bring us back up to the one of the many questions we have, Joe, about do you credit the submission attempt or the submission escape? But what carries more weight in the judges' mind?
It should always be the submission attempt.
Okay.
That should always carry more weight because that guy's trying to finish the fight. The other guy's just trying to survive.
Gotcha.
The only reason why he escapes is because the other guy's trying to kill him.
McDonald, with that in mind, then could have very well lost round 1 as well.
Absolutely.
Based on that criteria.
Yeah, but Jason McDonald is showing some tremendous heart.
Right.
And he could very likely pull this fight off. especially if he can get it back to his feet. Look at this, he's got Maia's back again. He's got to be careful, though, because he's inside control here. If he lets go of that, oh, nice, he rolled over, and he's on top. Hey, that was a precarious position there, Mike, because if you let go of that neck, he could have had, Maia could have had side control on him, which he does now. Now Maia
right
moves
to the mount. And how smooth are the transitions of Damian Maia?
Beautiful sweep.
You know, they talk about the great athletes who make it look effortless, and that's what Maia does when he goes from position to position.
Maia looks exhausted here, though. This has been a grueling fight.
And he had a bit of a tough cut. I saw him working very diligently to get down, and he's still somewhat new to this game. And the one thing he has is these great skills on the ground, as good as anybody's. As he continues to get and earn respect and earn experience, he could be a serious contender for the middleweight title somewhere down the road.
And Jason McDonald showing a lot of improvement himself. He's getting,
for sure.
He's getting eaten up here with some big punches, though. Little short, undefended punches, but he's okay.
Father of four, Tristan Kiel, Jet and True.
Oh, he's got the arm under the chin here, Mike. He's got the back. Oh, he's tapping.
It's
That's
over.
it.
Damian Maia chokes out Jason McDonald.
You okay?
That was a fun fight.
Excellent fight. Awesome chess match, and just an awesome display of technical jiu-jitsu and defense. Really great fight.
Vanderlei Silva, amongst others, congratulating the unbeaten Brazilian Damian Maia. Take a look at our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light, Ultimate Refreshment, superior drinkability.
Man, here you see it right here. We can't see it from that position, but Damian Maia had his arm deep underneath it. There we go. Deep underneath the chin. Never got the hand behind the head, but just good leverage there, and forced it with his legs and just squoze tight and forced Jason McDonald to tap out. Valiant effort by Jason McDonald, but the superior jiu-jitsu of Damian Maia won out in the end.
Damian Maia, now 3-0 in UFC competition. Where can he go from here? Only time will tell. McDonald was truly a warrior.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Leving has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 44 seconds of the third round, declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Damian Maia.
A big victory for the Brazilian. And he is with Joe.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Damian Maia. Damian, awesome performance. Were you surprised that Jason McDonald came to you and initiated the ground game?
No, I know he's good. I know probably he was taking, tried to go to the ground, but I was prepared. I've been prepared all my life. It's very nice to fight here in Minnesota because there's a lot of wrestling here. The people understand grappling game. So thank you, Minnesota.
Very technical grappling match. You caught him in a triangle very early on. Were you surprised that he didn't tap from that?
Yeah, man, he's tough to tap, very hard neck to tap.
Well, very impressive performance, a great fight to watch. We really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you again. Damian Maia, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for Alejara and Vanderlei Silva and Paulo to support me to this fight.
Damian Maia reigns supreme, wins by submission in the third and final round. Well, don't forget, fans, you can let your voice be heard, and many of you have already by texting A if you believe George St. Pierre will win tonight, and B if you believe John Fitch will win tonight. The votes are coming in the thousands. 73% believe that St. Pierre will retain the title tonight. Vote online at UFC.com or by texting A for GSP, B for Fitch to 88222. Our text voting brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide. Tune in to Tap Out for Season 2 on now, and crazier than ever.
UFC 87, Seek and Destroy from Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota is being brought to you by Bud Light, Ultimate Refreshment, superior drinkability. by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson, and by Bangkok Dangerous, starring Nicolas Cage, in theaters everywhere, September 5th. And later tonight, it is our main event of the evening for the welterweight championship as the champion, George St. Pierre, faces the #1 contender, John Fitch. Earlier tonight, the champion, George Rush St. Pierre, arrived here at Target Center. George St. Pierre says he will never make the same mistake he did in his last title defense, that the loss to Matt Serra. He is mentally and physically prepared to defend tonight. He'll try to defeat this man who also arrived a few hours ago, John Fitch, who is unbeaten inside the octagon and has said emphatically that he will leave tonight as the new welterweight champion. That's our main event later tonight, St. Pierre Fitch. Our main event next month features the Iceman, Chuck Liddell.
Two of the sport's perennial superstars.
Chuck Liddell, Rich Strickland.
Two hungry contenders. One night to break through and move closer to the light heavyweight title. As his former champion and knockout artist Chuck, the Iceman Liddell, coming off a thrilling victory over Vanderlei Silva, battles the younger, faster, and undefeated Sugar Rashad Evans, who is determined to knock off the UFC legend. Also, Rich Ace Franklin returns to 205, bringing his fast-paced, relentless style back to the stacked light heavyweight division to square off against Matt the Hammer Hamill, the powerful wrestler who will make his mark with a victory over the former middleweight champ.
It is all over!
The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 88 Breakthrough, live Saturday, September 6th from Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, only on pay-per-view.
Sold out tonight here in Minneapolis, then Atlanta, then Chicago, and now we have what could be the most highly anticipated lightweight fight in UFC history. It's Huerta against Florian.
No offense to him, but this is a cakewalk.
I'm looking forward to finding out who has the heavier hands.
Who wants to see fights finished in here at 155? Very impressive performance by Kenny Florian.
I want him, at the end of the fight, say this guy was a better fighter. He's gonna go out there and tell everybody that kid is the #1 contender.
People think that, you know, oh, Kenny's getting better all the time, you know. Well, wait till they see the next fight. And the fight after that, and the fight after that. It's never gonna stop. My goal in the Roger Huerta fight is to pressure him from the beginning. Just attack, 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 and wait for that mistake.
Beautiful job by Kenny Florian.
I got respect for Kenny, I really do. It's just sad to see that he's gonna be fighting me because I am gonna take him out.
The only thing in my mind is winning and crushing my opponent.
Truth is, man, I'm never gonna lose.
He has called the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul his home since 2002. Born in Los Angeles, his story well documented. Survived abandonment as a child and has yet to be defeated inside the octagon. This is, though, by far the biggest fight of El Matador, Roger Huerta's career.
Yeah, without a doubt, Mike. And, you know, this kid has tremendous heart. I mean, that is one of his biggest assets, his fighting spirit, just indomitable spirit. He's got a great chin. He's got absolutely fantastic conditioning. He follows one of the most rigorous training and conditioning programs in the sport. So he's always in phenomenal shape and able to push the fight to the limit. He takes a lot of chances. He creates a lot of openings just by sheer aggression and sheer just constant attacking. And in doing so, oftentimes leaves himself open. No one has been able to capitalize on that because no one's been able to deal with his fury and his attack. But Kenny Florian is the type of fighter that will look for those openings and try to capitalize on them.
Minnesota's own Dave Monet, the man who taught him.
Former
Justin
UFC champion
Hagen
himself.
Justin Hagen, his strength and conditioning coach. Huerta has gone all over to prepare for this matchup. Denver to train with Mark Barton Whitman.
Jackson. He trained a ton of time in Montreal with George Rush St. Pierre. And this is the biggest opportunity of El Matador's life. Earned his degree recently from Augsburg College, just across the Mississippi, here in the Twin Cities.
So you've got so many diamonds. You wear all the finest clothes.
He believes in the spirit of the samurai. Kenny Florian entering the octagon once again. Mark Delagrati, his brother Keith, his strength and conditioning coach Kevin Kearns, all with him as he steps back into what he is finding to be the most comfortable place he can find himself on this earth. And the ironic thing is that music for Kenny started out slowly. Rogers was fast, and that might be the difference. The guy who would like to make it a real battle, a street fight, against the samurai who wants to keep things in control.
I don't know, you have to ask Kenny.
I did already.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, well, this is what I think about Kenny. First of all, jiu-jitsu black belt, not just a jiu-jitsu black belt, but an accomplished jiu-jitsu black belt competitor. Multiple-time winner of several grappling championships. I mean, he won Grappler's Quest, he won Naga. He's an excellent competitor in jiu-jitsu. And then on top of that, under the tutelage of Mark Delagrati, has really honed his stand-up and become very technical. Lethal elbows, beautiful body and head kicks. His technique in Brazilian jiu-jitsu and his technique in Muay Thai are right now coming to convergence. He is really evolving and changing and constantly growing as a fighter. And he has tremendous heart himself, tremendous fighting spirit himself. And this is just a phenomenal matchup, Mike. I can't wait for this to get started.
He says he is in the best shape of his life. He's at the best technical level ever. Peter Welch, a great boxer from Boston. His brother Keith, as I mentioned before. Kevin Kearns has taken his conditioning to a level where it has never been before. He's turned eating into a science. Kenny Florian, since the loss in his title shot to Sean Scherf, has improved as a samurai, as a warrior, as a person, as a fighter, every single day.
Absolutely, and the training with Kevin Kearns is also a very important aspect of his development. He has said that Kevin has changed his body and given him a new engine, given him new determination and new endurance in the octagon.
Our tale of the tape for this lightweight matchup is brought to you by the only motorcyclist worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson. Florian, 32 years old, 7 years the elder of Huerta. They both 5'9", they both weighed in at 155. Kenny Florian will have a 4-inch reach advantage. With the official introductions for this great matchup, once again, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a freestyle fighter holding a professional record of 22 wins with 1 loss and 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, Roger El Matador Huerta! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. A mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 11 wins with 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of Boston, Massachusetts, Kenny Florian! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Dan Mergliata.
Dan Mergliata is our referee. Tons of mutual respect. Jared Allen, member of the Minnesota Vikings, in attendance here tonight. Minneapolis' own Huerta against Boston's own Florian, and here we go! Long trunks for Florian, black. The blue and white trunks for Roger Huerta.
Florian is going to methodically try to pick apart Roger Huerta. Huerta would love to turn this into a high-paced fight with reckless abandon. Good leg kick.
I'll tell you what, Huerta already looks excellent on his feet. Looks really smooth so far, like he's been doing a lot of stand-up training.
Spent a lot of time in Montreal with Georges St-Pierre. Look to answer with the right hand there.
The way he's holding his guard up, the way he's moving, shows some great improvement.
Movement and angles is going to be a huge key tonight for Florian. They meet in the middle. Trying to load up that Superman punch, it looks like, a couple of times, Roger Huerta. Huerta said, "I'll never lose." Got a ton of confidence. Florian has lost before. He said he trains so hard every day because he knows that anybody can lose. That's why he trains so hard every day.
Kenny with the takedown attempt.
And a big one. Florian has great ground and pound and absolutely lethal elbows.
Kenny with the mount.
Oh, my.
Nice. Very
right
nice.
to mount. This is where the elbows can be vicious. This is where Florian opened up his good friend Alex Alexis.
And we've seen in past fights, we've seen Roger Huerta struggle on the ground with Doug Evans. Clay Guida controlled him for a while before he caught him. Kenny Florian, though, one thing he has that those guys don't have is just an unbelievable ground game. He's got his back now, and he's flattened him out.
This could be trouble for Roger Huerta. Huerta pinned up against the cage. Florian in a great position.
And Kenny's digging underneath with those uppercuts and just looking for an opening. Roger looking to stand back up again.
Huerta is up.
Back up, very nice by Roger Huerta.
And the one thing, usually it's a punch, but something like that could fire Huerta. We've noticed before when he gets hit, then he starts to get more vicious. He says he's got this inner thing from everything he survived in life that makes him incredibly passionate.
He's a very emotional fighter.
Absolutely.
Fights on that emotional fuel.
That can be good. Sometimes it can be bad if it becomes reckless and careless. Florian ducks under.
I think another key to this fight, Mike, is that Florian believes that Roger Huerta is going to leave openings with his aggression.
Yes.
And if you notice, Florian is engaging him, but he's moving away a lot as well. And in doing that, he's allowing Roger Huerta to attack. And I think Florian is going to look to counter.
Almost caught him with a knee. Good flurry.
Good right hand by Roger Huerta.
Huerta coming. Florian ducks under. Huerta with that aggression we spoke of.
Kenny Florian with a whizzer on that side. Roger Huerta looking to pin him up against the cage.
Nice job done here by Roger Huerta. Florian's protecting himself.
Elbows by Florian. Those little short elbows can cut you up.
And that's what Florian does well. He keeps tight with his Muay Thai under the discipline and the tutelage of Mark Delagrati. Crew Toy, Mark's crew from Thailand came in to help Kenny prepare for this fight.
What Kenny does very well with elbows too is he pulls away, and as he's pulling away, as the opponent is coming towards him, he lands those elbows in tight.
Even from his back, that's how he opened up Sean's shirt. Very close first round. Huerta came wild. Florian transitioning from his Muay Thai to more of a boxing. Inside.
Good leg kicks by Roger Huerta. And a short right hand as well.
Roger has a ton of confidence. Tried to set up that Superman punch again. Tell you what, there's nothing you can't like about either of these young men. Pure class.
They both make for very exciting fights too.
Marketable.
Good job, guys, good job.
And a good first round turned in by both men.
Relax. Okay, get some water. Here it goes.
You gotta let your hands go. When you're getting in the clinch, you're not moving at all. Okay. You're not moving at all. Let those knees go. Let those elbows go. You can throw him in the clinch. I don't know why he's throwing you in the clinch. You have to throw him in the clinch. Stop letting his confidence build. You're letting him do things. Get on this kid. You need to be more busy, more offense. Everything you throw, you land. Throw it more. You listening? Throw it more. Let your legs go. Let your hands go. Let it fly.
The right overhand is there. He's afraid of your uppercut, so he's pulling back, baby. Mouthpiece, okay? Get those necks, get the neck on the knees. And he leads in with the...
Mark Delagrati in one corner, Dave Manet, former UFC champion, in the other. The beautiful Edith. Our love and prayers to Jorge Rivera and his family on their recent loss. We're all thinking of you, Jorge, and I know Kenny has you in his heart tonight as he competes round 2. Big kick. Let's see if indeed Florian comes out more aggressively here, as Delagrati suggested. Caught him with a right.
He looks already a bit more determined in his stance, Mike.
The chant of Huerta, the adopted son. Huerta likes to come forward to those kicks. Fake the Superman.
He comes forward very wild.
Yep. And that is something you said earlier, Joe, that perhaps Kenny Florian was waiting for him to get wild and have too much reckless abandon, but then Mark Delagrati says, well, maybe you're not doing enough. Maybe you better not wait that long. Push him to get into that reckless state. Florian steps away.
Trying very hard for the takedown here.
Roger, very fine wrestler. Kenny Florian's been wrestling with a Harvard wrestling coach. They call him Moose. And doing a great job. Kenny's avoidance is good. Florian 8-1 on the way in. Looking for another big takedown.
Rogers looking for a Kimura.
Florian has gone the distance 5 times in his career, including a 5-round fight against Sean Sherk. Florian trying to work that leg. Huerta with some strikes.
Florian's got him down, and he moves into side control.
Let's see if he can get the mount again, Joe.
He got his back very quickly. And these are the openings that Kenny Florian was talking about. He's got him flattened out, too. Big punches by Kenny Florian. He's high, though. He's got to be careful that Roger doesn't pop out the back. And he does.
Yep. And they continue to battle. This is why everyone was so excited when this matchup was first announced, or finally announced, because you could see the paths about to collide, and they do tonight here in Minnesota. Living up to its billing thus far. Huerta, 6-0 in his UFC career. 22-1-1 overall. The winner certainly puts himself in great position for a future title shot. Great sweep, followed by the punch.
Florian.
Pull the shoulder one way. Work the sweep the other. Kenny did it perfectly. Under 2 minutes remains in the second round. You heard the foot, more of a slap, then catching the true shin. Although a little bit of a red mark above the left knee of Roger Huerta. Loves to set up that one fake, doesn't he, Joe?
Good knee by Florian.
Huerta looking for the hook. Roger lands one on the thigh. Every time he likes going to that Superman punch. Not every time, but often.
Kenny's got the Muay Thai plum.
Huerta's got to be careful here. Kenny's going to try to throw a knee. Oh, elbow. Yep. Short elbow. Uppercut.
Meanwhile, Huerta keeps pushing forward and landing punches.
30 seconds remains in round 2. Kenny and his brother Keith about to open up their own academy in suburban Boston. Excited about that. "15 seconds remains in the second round. I can't wait for this third round.
Body kick by Florian and a good right hook.
Man, we're just getting going.
Let's take a look at some of the punches connected by Kenny Florian. This is when he had Roger Huerta's back. Just real solid punches to Roger's face.
Need angles, Roger.
Kenny eventually
Cut
wound
him
up
off
losing
the
that
ring,
position,
Keep
though.
the pressure on. You win the last minute in the fight, right? You win the last minute. Stay outside his shoulder. Follow that overhand in, right? Right?
Okay, Roger,
Right?
listen to me. Okay, you gotta relax, okay? But with pressure, okay? Do not let him push you back.
Huerta
You will
started
lose
his
the fight
amateur
if you
career
allow him
here.
to push you back. You're gonna be the
Kenny, when
the
you
Twin
land,
Cities.
when you find your opportunity, take him down again. We need that. When you
You're
land
up
that
two, though.
inside
You're
kick,
up two.
go to the body right away. Leg, body, like we worked. Leg, body. If you have to put a left down the middle in between, do it. Leg, left, leg. All right?
Watch when he looks his head down so you can go upstairs.
Take some water in. Kenny, this is the last round. You're fresh. Get on this kid. Jump on this kid. Don't let him steal this from you. You got it.
Very passionate Mark Delagrate.
Absolutely. Usually he's saying control your breathing, relax. Mark's fired up.
All right, Roger, you ready?
Huerta.
Kenny, ready? Let's go fight.
Florian. Third and final round. Nice work by Florian. The teep becomes offensive. He ducks under. And
He gets a takedown. He's on top. He's got a guillotine attempt. Roger Huerta's back to his feet. Kenny hits him with a knee.
Dancing around, stalking,
Flying
and a
knee.
flying knee. Florian again takes a leg.
Big left hand by Kenny Florian.
Florian again with a knee. Huerta. There's the anger of Huerta. Spits on the ground. Florian trying to overcome.
Florian is on top of him here. He's got to be careful of that leg, Roger Huerta does. If Florian wants to take that knee bar, it's right there.
Well,
All he needs to do, Mike, is throw his left leg over his right foot and pull back.
Joe, from that reaction a moment ago by Huerta, he's found that nasty place, if you will. But will it be enough?
Kenny stays on top.
Kenny Florian said, and I quote, "This can all go away very quickly," which is why he is so disciplined, critical of himself, and always so grounded. Elbows, punches from the bottom.
Kenny's going to stack him
by
up here and
Huerta.
pass. Huerta tries to get back to his feet, and he does. Kenny gave him that space there, and he gave him a little bit of space.
3.5 minutes remains in the fight. Huerta trying to throw a knee at Florian
You
here.
see the whizzer on the right-hand side? Okay, let it go. Kenny Florian several times has looked for a judo throw.
Roger with the uppercut. Kenny over the top.
Kenny connected with a left hook there.
Kenny protected himself well. Huerta's hands are starting to fall. Punches are getting shorter. Big knee again. Blocked. Florian dancing around, staying light on his feet. Again, they exchange over the top. Huerta trying to find something from deep within. Just missing the elbow. Wow, what a battle. Thumbs up from Huerta to Florian. Oh, my goodness. How good was that?
And Kenny immediately moves away because he knows once you hit Roger, Roger immediately attacks afterwards.
And he led like he was going midsection, and then boom, that foot came up right into the jaw of Roger Huerta. Caught him again. Florian trying to pick him apart. Huerta. He's going to pursue here. Both of these men pure class.
Good jabs by Kenny Florian.
In and out. Kenny Florian moving the head. Caught with an inside leg kick. Huerta swinging for the fences. Florian doing a little dancing. 90 seconds remains.
Roger constantly attacking. And you got to wonder how much that plays in the judges. He lands the right hand there.
Kenny's confident. 70 seconds. Florian.
Nice knee to the body by Florian. But Roger comes back. Roger is constantly pressing forward, and you got to wonder how much the judges are looking at that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kenny Florian's footwork, though, is outstanding tonight. Peter Welch has worked diligently on the footwork of Florian. Over the top, swing and a miss. And again. That's a slip. 35 seconds remains. Who will move to what could be?
Good right hand by Florian.
The spot right behind B.J. Penn at 155. 20 seconds remains.
Kenny Florian is trying to put an exclamation point on this fight.
Florian looking to hand Huerta his first UFC loss. Knee, punch.
Nice jab by Kenny as well, and another.
And we will go to the judges' scorecard.
Roger Huerta just swore, and Kenny Florian raised his arms in the air.
Roger knows inevitably what is about to come. Take a look at our fight replay. All night long, our fight replays will be brought to you by Bud Light. Ultimate refreshment, superior drinkability.
Here's Kenny Florian just grazing Roger with that elbow, and that's one of Kenny's bread and butter techniques. And there is a front kick landed to the face. Not a lot of impact on it, but it does score.
Our Bud Light fight replay. 32-year-old Kenny Florian. 25-year-old Roger Huerta. True Mark Delagrati. Bruce Buffer has the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Kenny Florian.
Defeated for the first time inside the octagon is Roger Huerta. Kenny Florian fighting tonight, dedicating part of this fight to CC, who is fighting pancreatic cancer. Loss for Jorge Rivera, and a big night for Kenny. He's with Joe.
All right, I'm here with Kenny Florian. First of all, Kenny, congratulations. Very exciting fight. Tell us, what was your strategy coming into this fight, and how well do you think you implemented it?
You know, I don't know how hard it was to fight Roger Huerta. I like that kid so much. So much respect for him. Kid's gonna be a champion. I trained very hard for that fight. I didn't want to get into a brawl with him. He's very, very tough. I tried to play real technique versus his brawling style, and I think I was able to do that.
Several times you got him into dominant positions. You had his back a couple of times. Were you surprised you weren't able to finish him?
I was very surprised. He's very strong, very technical with his escapes, very slippery, and I got to give him a lot of credit. I thought I was going to be able to finish him. He's tough as nails.
Now, Kenny, coming into this fight, it was widely believed that the winner of this fight was going to move into the top contender status and be next in line for a title shot. Do you believe that's what's next for you?
I'm not sure. I hope so. I really wanted to have a dominant performance against Roger. You got to give him a lot of credit. Who knows? Let's see what happens. It's up to the UFC. I'm real excited. Got a lot of projects coming up. Open up an academy with my brother, Keith, Florian Martial Arts Center, and so grateful for everything the UFC has done for the sport and for me. I want to thank all the fans for their support. All my fans in Boston, in Peru, all my training partners at Tong. Thank you guys, I love you. This is for Jorge Rivera. He lost his eldest daughter, 17 years old. He lost her out of nowhere. This is for you, man. For Eric Armington, who died this year from Tong. And this is for Cece right here.
Kenny Florian, ladies and gentlemen.
Kenny Florian, the samurai, with a heavy heart and lots on his mind, defeats Roger Huerta. And in so doing, he says that this young man will be a future champion. There aren't many in the world tougher. And this young man, Roger Huerta, still can do anything he wants. All right, later tonight, main event of the evening. You've been texting us all night. Now it's not quite close, but it's 2-1. 67% think St. Pierre, 33% think Fitch. Text A for St. Pierre, B for Fitch to 88222. Text voting brought to you by Tap Out. Tune in to Tap Out for Season 2 on now and crazier than ever. Tens of thousands of votes so far, and we will see who will leave the welterweight champion later tonight. We know one thing, he's leaving the UFC lightweight champion tonight, but the next man he may face could very well be Kenny Florian. Only time will tell. Is Baby J, BJ Penn, is at Target tonight.
Later tonight, it's a heavyweight collision as the Texas Crazy Horse, Heath Herring, faces former WWE superstar Brock Lesnar. Take a look inside the locker room of the very experienced Heath Herring. He believes that will be the difference in tonight's fight. Herring has fought all around the world. And for Brock Lesnar, you look inside his locker room, I can tell you, he is thrilled to be fighting here tonight at Target Center. Remember, he won a national championship representing the Minnesota Golden Gophers right down the street. That fight is later tonight. Here's what's coming up inside the Octagon. Brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide. On Saturday, September 6th, the UFC heads south to Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia for UFC 88 Breakthrough. Chuck Liddell is back, and he's better than ever. The Iceman wants his title back, but he has to get through undefeated 16-0 Sugar Rashad Evans first. Live on pay-per-view in North America at 10 in the East, 7 in the West. Check your listings internationally for broadcast times in your area. Tickets are still available at the Phillips Arena box office and Ticketmaster.com. Then, on Wednesday, September 17th, the Octagon opens its gates in the Omaha Civic Auditorium in Omaha, Nebraska for UFC Fight Night Live on Spike, when Nate Diaz puts his undefeated UFC record on the line against Josh the Dentist Neer. Tickets are on sale now at the Omaha Civic Auditorium box office and Ticketmaster.com. On Saturday, October 18th, the UFC returns to the UK for UFC 89, Bisping versus Lieben from the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham, England. After dropping down to 185 pounds, Michael the Count Bisping has blown through his first two opponents. Now he's set to take on heavy-handed striker Chris the Crippler Lieben in an explosive middleweight matchup. Tickets are on sale now at the NIA box office and at theticketfactory.com. Then only 1 week later, Saturday, October 25th, the UFC heads to Allstate Arena just outside Chicago in suburban Rosemont for UFC 90. Silva versus Cote, presented by Harley-Davidson. The best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Anderson, the Spider Silva, returns to 185 to defend his middleweight title against #1 contender Patrick, the Predator Cote, who's on a 5-fight win streak. Tickets go on sale to UFC Fight Club members on Friday, August 15th, and then to the public on Monday, August 18th. Tickets will be available at Allstate Arena box office and Ticketmaster.com. And that's what's coming up inside the Octagon, brought to you by Tap Out. Tune in to Tap Out for Season 2 on now and crazier than ever.
The veteran of the original cast of The Ultimate Fighter, Florian, is a victor here tonight. And now in another lightweight matchup, Season 5 castmates reunite as Team Penn's Rob Emerson faces Team Pulver's Manville Gambirian. With a seemingly endless wealth of talent, the UFC's lightweight division is a place where only the strong survive. The Ultimate Fighter Season 5's Rob Emerson and Manny Gambirian have proved that they truly belong. But tonight, only one man will move up the 155-pound ladder.
I'm looking to cut him with elbows and stuff, you know, from the ground, mess him up with the knees and the feet, throw punches, kicks, whatever I got to do to cut him up, make him bleed and hurt him, see how durable he is.
We're gonna go out there and swing hard as I can. Right after bat, that's my thing, you know, I'm not gonna play passive, this and that. So right after bat, you ready, it's on, man.
After battling it out on the local circuit, Emerson burst onto the world scene with a stint on Season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter in 2007, and he engaged in an exciting battle with Gray Maynard in the season finale before the bout was ruled a no contest. Tonight, coming off a big win in February over Keita Nakamura, Emerson returns to fight for glory again.
This fight's probably going to end with TKO stoppage. I'm looking to stop this fight. I'm not looking to go to the decision. I'm not looking for submission or anything. I'm looking to cut him and hurt him and beat him until the ref stops it.
An aggressive warrior who has thrilled fight fans and intimidated opponents with his refusal to take a backward step in the octagon, Gambirian battled from an injury suffered in the finals of The Ultimate Fighter against Nate Diaz and has looked better than ever, scoring impressive victories over Nate Moore and Jeff Cox. Tonight, he looks for his third straight win inside the octagon.
Bell rings, man is going for the quickest punches in the world. Put him on the fence, I'll judo toss him. So I'm gonna win, and my hand's gonna be raised, and go party.
Emerson, a veteran of the Ultimate Fighter reality series. He's got very good striking, well-rounded fighter, likes to stay on his feet, likes to throw kicks and elbows. And he calls his style, I smash you, you smash me. And he is unbeaten since 2005.
Emerson says he has a new level of conditioning coming into this fight, and he believes his mind and body are finally on the same page, which means we could see him perform better than he ever has.
Well, he's one of those guys that every time you see him, he's always improving, and that is a really difficult task for fighters, to get their mind, their mental game, and their physical game together at the same time, and to get their physical skills in line with their endurance and their conditioning. It's a constant battle for improvement.
He had a conversation with his coach from The Ultimate Fighter, UFC lightweight champion BJ Penn, and BJ inspired him to take this fight game to another level. We'll find out.
Yeah, they can't stop, even if they stop me.
Manville, the Anvil. As likable a young man as you will ever meet. He says 5'5". Who really knows? But I'll tell you what, his heart is 8 foot, 9 foot.
I'm telling him you said that first.
Well, he'll hear it. He'll probably watch.
Manny Gambirian, first of all, phenomenal judo, great judo tosses, great control, and great submissions, great leg locks, great chokes. Very, very strong guy, and also very aggressive. Comes at you, like he described in his pre-fight interview, comes at you guns blazing, 100 miles an hour, 100% right off the bat.
loves to look for ankles and legs, loves to push the pace. And the only time we have seen him leave not a victor in the UFC is when he jacked up his shoulder in the Ultimate Fighter Season 5 finale against Nate Diaz.
And that was a fight that he was doing very well in.
Absolutely.
He was ahead on the scorecards up until then, and unfortunately he has a reoccurring shoulder injury on his left shoulder.
8-time junior national judo champion. 2000 was the year he was a member of the judo junior world team. He went the distance with former UFC lightweight champion Sean Shirk at the age of just 19. And now, about 8 years later, Manny Gambirian is back in the UFC. Our tale of the tape for this lightweight matchup is brought to you by the only motorcyclist worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson, the Armenian, 27 years old. The American, the same. They list Manny at 5'5". They will give Emerson a 3-inch reach advantage. Once again with our official introductions, the veteran voice of the octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 9 wins with 6 losses and 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Irvine, California, Rob the Saint Emerson. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a judo and jiu-jitsu fighter, holding a professional record of 10 wins with 3 losses. Standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of Hollywood, California, Manville, the Anvil Gamburian. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Yves Lavigne.
Yves Lavigne, our referee.
Stay in your corner, sir.
Season 5 competitors will meet. Now there are some stories that
ready,
said
sir?
in the kind of the pre-tryout stage that Manny Gambirian couldn't take Rom Everson down, and it really frustrated him. Well, let's see if he takes him down here tonight. Swinging early is Manny.
Oh, he got hit with a big right hand. He's in big trouble, Mike.
He got rocked, and it is all over.
Wow.
Rob Emerson is the winner.
Robert Emerson. Manny Gambirian came out wild and aggressive, and he left openings. As he said in the pre-fight introduction, that he likes to come out 100% and aggressive and take it right to the guy. But when you do that, especially if you're not, your base isn't in striking, you're going to leave some openings.
Swinging from way outside, Joe.
And Robert Emerson capitalized nicely.
Take a look at our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light, Ultimate Refreshment. Superior drinkability, and it didn't take long. This is in real time.
Manny Gambirian swinging with his head wide up in the air and a straight right hand right down the pipe, and then the left hook, and he went out.
Great job done by Yves Lavigne.
Yeah, he caught him exactly the right time. Watch as this left hook connects. Now watch, he goes limp. He's out right there. And any other punches would have been completely unnecessary. And I'm sure that Manny's not happy with the stoppage, but it's the correct one. Any punches after that would have really hurt him.
Still a smile on the face, the Manny Gambirian. That knockout comes at just 12 seconds. That is, at least we've got some ties, but that's one of the top 10 fastest knockouts in UFC history. James Irvin Houston Alexander, just a little while ago, 8 seconds. That ties Don Fry and Thomas Ramirez. This one didn't take long, and the Saint reigns supreme. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Lavigne has called a stop to this contest at 12 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Rob the Saint Emerson.
Now that's how quickly it can happen here in this world of mixed martial arts. These dudes spend a lot of time together in that crazy house, and they show respect. Here's Joe.
All right, I'm here with Robert Emerson. Very impressive, quick knockout. You must have anticipated Manny Gambirian coming at you full steam. Was that what you were ready for?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know. Backstage before I walked out, I watched on the TV. He said he's going to come out strong. I'm like, oh shit, all right, be ready for it. So I know he comes out normally hard. I thought he was going to kind of be more careful with me. Backstage warming up, I was like, dude, no one got a knockout yet. I was, hoping for that. So he's a tough guy, all the respect in the world. He's an animal. He's going to do big things in the sport, Hopefully both of us have a successful career. So my hat's off to him.
Well, take a look at the big screen, and let's look at the knockout one more time. Manny Gambarian came at you guns blazing and left his chin up, and here you caught him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a right hand that landed. It's an overhand. It landed a couple times in training. Guys say, man, you caught me with that. That's good. If that punch didn't land, it would have been a war, man. He's a tough guy. He's tough, He's been through some tough fights, so I just knew how to keep it off the cage and keep it on the feet, so.
Well, very impressive knockout over a very tough opponent. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you again. Rob Emerson, ladies and gentlemen.
Big win for the Saint. Took only 12 seconds, but it'll move him up the ladder as he wants to work his way into title contention in this very crowded and talented UFC lightweight division. Well, our fans all over the world have been texting, and they've been going online to cast their votes all night long, and still 67% of you believe that St. Pierre will retain the welterweight title after his battle in our main event of the evening against John Fitch. Text A if you believe St. Pierre will win, B if you think Fitch will win, to 88222. Of course, as you've been able to all night long, you can cast your vote at UFC.com. Text voting brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide. There she is, Laura's here again, star of that 70s show, a regular, as are many of the celebrities that have fallen in love with the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And you know what? The best is we're just getting underway. Still, the main event, the co-main event on the card here tonight from the Twin Cities. Later tonight, it is our main event of the evening for the UFC Welterweight Championship. As the champion, George Rush St. Pierre. And you look inside Target Center, sold out, standing room only. You know what? I mean, the way that this sport has been received all over the world is amazing. And the job that Mark Ratner has done to get it legalized and commissioned in all the new states, Joe, it's a blast going to different places as we continue to do here tonight, getting ready for all kinds of great fights like this one earlier. With the nickname The Viking, UFC newcomer Dan Evanson will be a fan favorite here in Minnesota, but he faces a hefty challenge in the always dangerous Cheick Kongo. Cheick Kongo's 2-year stay in the UFC have seen him evolve from a kickboxer into a well-rounded mixed martial artist, able to hold his own wherever the fight takes place. But still at his core, this heavyweight contender loves nothing more than delivering his brutal punches and kicks. And when he's on his game, like he was against Mirko Krokop, Christian Wellich, and Asuero Silva, he is one of the top heavyweights in the sport today.
I don't care to meet him in the cage or in the street. I'm the wolf, and he's the victim. Maybe he can try to survive, but in the jungle, that's so hard to survive. The jungle is a cage. I'm the king.
An imposing new force in the heavyweight division at 6'5", 260 pounds. Norway native Dan the Viking Evanson won't be looking for takedowns against Cheick Kongo tonight. Instead, he's searching for the knockout, something that has come very naturally to him. In fact, he has earned 6 of his 10 wins by KO. Entering the octagon with a 4-fight winning streak, he's confident it will be a very difficult night tonight for Cheick Kongo.
You gotta respect the guy that beat Krokop, but for some reason I don't. And he's saying he's a wolf, and I'm the prairie, but I'm actually a big, real Viking, so I eat wolf for breakfast.
Coming up next, Dan the Viking Evanson battles Cheick Kongo. Well, up here in the land of so many proud Scandinavians, the Norwegian should be well received. You see John Lewis, UFC veteran, Mike Whitehead in the corner of the Viking, Dan Evanson, who is now training in Las Vegas. Now, Evanson actually extremely talented in track and field. He threw the hammer. Thought for a second he might actually represent Norway in the Olympics in Beijing. That didn't happen. Instead, he says tonight is my Olympic appearance.
That's very interesting. It's a very tough Olympic appearance indeed for a UFC debut, taking on a guy like Czech Congo, and taking on a guy like Czech Congo and deciding that you want to stand up and try to knock him out. Very, very difficult task indeed. He looks pumped up. He looks energetic. He obviously has a great corner in Mike Whitehead and John Lewis behind him. And let's see what Dan Evanson brings to the cage.
He is on a 4-fight win streak, with 3 of the last 4 wins coming by TKO. His only 2 losses were to UFC veterans, Christian Wellish and Pride veteran Dan Bobishin. He hasn't lost since 2006. Trains with Lewis, working the wrestling game and the ground skills with Whitehead. He could very well be kind of a diamond in the rough as he walks into the octagon tonight.
Well, he's obviously a big, strong, powerful man, and you know, we don't know much else about him until we see him fight.
As a kid, I imagined myself in the Olympics. I now am in the Olympics. It's called the UFC.
UFC is actually way more cool than the Olympics.
Good point by you. His opponent. Born and raised in Paris, France. One of the potential most lethal strikers in the game. I mean, his ability with his kickboxing and Muay Thai skills is as good as anybody's. He hits hard, he hits frequently. When he brings it, he is a man to be feared and feared greatly.
Yeah, he's got excellent knees to the body, very good kicks and punches, really excellent striker, and he showed in the Heath Herring fight that he is diverse as well. He tried to take Heath Herring down on many occasions, was successful at that, and he's showing that he's really making his ground game much more a part of the big picture. And he's going to need that to fight against the top guys in the UFC's heavyweight division. But he is most certainly a very big contender in this division, and this is a tall task for Dan Evanson. Czech Congo is a bad dude.
By far, the most notable win amongst his 21 in his mixed martial arts career is the win at UFC 75 in September of 07 in London, as he defeated former Pride heavyweight champion Mirko Kroka by unanimous decision. What he did that night was mix up the strikes nicely and work the body with some lethal kicks.
And he really took Krokop out of his game. Yeah. He was very aggressive, and he did what a lot of people think has always been the problem with Krokop, is that when guys back him up, he has a hard time fighting. And that is exactly what Czech Congo did. Took it to him, backed him up, kept him on the defensive for the entire fight, and won a very clear-cut decision.
Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight matchup is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson. Congo, the Frenchman, 33 years old. The Norwegian Evanson is 34 years old. Czech Congo is a bit lighter, but he will have a reach advantage. Once again, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 10 wins with 2 losses. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 244 pounds, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Dan the Viking Evanson. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record of 21 wins with 4 losses and 1 draw. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 235 pounds. Fighting out of Paris, France, Czech Congo! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Yves Loving.
So Yves Levine, our referee.
Reste dans ton coin, s'il te plaît. Stay in the corner.
Czech Congo.
Okay, are you ready, sir?
Dan Evanson.
Fight!
Heavyweight matchup, and here we go. Quickly coming out to take the center of the octagon is the Viking. In the white trunks. In the red trunks, Czech Congo.
Evanson looking very aggressive.
Got to watch out and check those leg kicks, Joe. You can't take too many of those. Nice, working it with the jab, inside leg kick. I like the way already how Congo's just throwing that jab out. You don't have to do anything with it just to keep your opponent at bay. Evanson definitely happy to be aggressive in this fight, you can tell.
Congo has Evanson pinned up against the cage.
In the background, Rampage Jackson cheering on what has become a good friend of his in the fight game, Czech Congo. They have trained together.
Let's go, guys, work!
Czech Congo. Big takedown. Congo waited, got it. Let's see what he does with it.
Evanson gets to full guard.
You brought up before, Joe, that Czech Congo took Heath Herring down on a number of occasions, but he couldn't do much from there.
Well, Heath Herring is a very experienced fighter, and he's got a very good ground game himself. But the impressive thing was that Czech Congo is diversifying his techniques. He's adding a lot more takedowns to what was initially just a striking game.
The bruise is already on the leg.
Let's go, do something.
Evanson can't take too many of those. Tried to come down with the axe. And again on that left leg. Congo stalking.
Okay, get out.
Levine says, all right, here we go.
Fight!
Congo seems to be very focused and aggressive here tonight. Ducked under.